Yeah.
Yep.
Anthony Hopkins, Christian Bale, and Mark Wahlberg.
Okay.
Top three
Okay.
male actors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Top 3 concerts?
Yeah,
Did you get out to-
Iron Maiden was probably top of my list. It was insane. Massive pyrotechnics and a giant 6-foot Eddie walking around. It was amazing. I say 6 foot, it was actually more like 12 foot. Giant robotic fucking thing. It was cool as.
Okay.
Yeah, like I saw a bunch of big ones in Melbourne when I used to live over there because more bigger bands come.
Okay.
But like this other Norwegian death punk band called Turbo Negro they were fucking awesome.
I've heard of them, yeah.
Yeah, they threw fake blood all over.
What
the
are
crowd.
they messing with CKY in that back
No,
in the day?
yeah, they're like that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I saw Block Party when they came to Wellington. They were really cool.
Okay.
Yeah, that's choice.
Okay.
Or maybe Morrissey when I saw Morrissey in LA. That was pretty awesome.
In
That
LA?
was very cool. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was pretty choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Our top 3 skate parks in New Zealand and top 3 in the world.
Shit, I like the Crawley ramps, you know. Mine is going to be fairly heavily vert orientated because I mostly skate vert now.
Sure, yeah.
So I love, obviously, the Crawley ramps and Mangawhai Bowl, Washington skate park. I like the Fellows backyard ramp, and I actually like only Hunger vert ramp. Everyone complains about it, but it's a nice small vert ramp. It's like kind of like a giant mini ramp. It's really sick.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Okay.
And internationally, City Park in Melbourne will always be one of my favourites because I just used to skate there every day. I love that place. Box Hill was always really good too in Melbourne. Monster Skate Park was really good in Sydney, but I think they had a fire there and it burnt down recently.
Oh.
So I don't know. Maybe the Volcom Skate Park, which I used to have in Costa Mesa, that was really cool, like a private indoor Volcom park.
Okay.
But they'd always change it around and do different stuff. But you could go there, and because in the States, a lot of parks in California you have to wear a helmet.
Yeah.
But just for legal reasons and shit. But at the Volcom Skate Park, we'd get the keys to it and we could just go there and have private sessions.
Yeah.
It was real sick. Yeah, it's cool.
Okay. How do you think social media, Instagram and Facebook like that have impacted skateboarding? Do you think it's buzzy how you can just film a clip and then post it up online compared to back in the day?
Yeah, it's funny.
Did you guys used to work for long times on your parts and stuff?
Yeah, man, because it's so different now. Because when I was coming up and when I was getting paid to skate full time and stuff in Melbourne, it was all about the print. It was all about magazines, and that was your main cash cow. That was the advertising for the companies and stuff, you know. Yeah. And so that was where all your photo incentive was and all your stuff like that. And so it was all about getting in the mags, you know, and who was in the new Slam mag this month and what was going on there. But now it's just it's pretty. On one hand, it's really easy to reach a lot of people and to put content out there. And if you put something really good out there, chances are it will get picked up.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, it's like such a saturated market where there's just so much content. It's like, you'll put something up which you may have worked on for a long time, and then, you know, it's hot for 30 minutes and then it's gone, and then that's it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, pros and cons, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sweet.
Strangelife.
So Strangelife is my board company.
Okay.
And so when I moved back from Australia, I was skating for Dark Star boards at the time.
Okay.
And they pretty much said to me, hey, look, we need you to come back to Australia, because they knew I wasn't really doing much. I just started studying IT at this stage, and my skate time was kind of fizzling out. And they were still paying me, you know, not much, like a couple $100 a month, and still giving me boards and stuff, but they sort of said, hey, look, we need you to come back to Australia because you're not really in the limelight, or you're not really showing up at events and doing stuff in Wellington. And I said, hey, look, I'm doing this now, I'm trying to study, I'm not really doing that. And so after that I thought, I'm just going to try and start my own board company. And so that's how it sort of got started. and then I always thought like I've always had like a lot of ideas about what I like in boards and what I want to see on boards and what I think is cool, and so I wanted to turn that into a company, and then so now I think I've done like maybe 10 different graphics over time, and
Did you draw them all?
so what generally the process is that like I'll have an idea and then I'll sketch it out, and then I'll take it to one of my mates who's an artist or someone else to bring it up to production stage, and then I'll get it, done properly, and they'll do it in AI or whatever, and then I send it off to get manufactured and brought back, and and so I've been doing that for a while now, and now I've got we're pretty much like a vert skating company now. Like I didn't even mean for it to be like that, but that's what I skate, and that's what like a lot of my closest friends skate, and now it's me, Chris Curran, Ramon Thackwell, and Zeden Fellows are the team. And Zeden's like, the youngest kid to do a McTwist in New Zealand. So he's pretty
out some of his
insane.
footage.
Yeah, he's insane, dude. He's really good. And then Chris is one of my best friends, and the best dude ever, and just the best brand ambassador ever. And he rips. And then Ramon is just the ultimate vert machine legend who can do a run for 20 walls straight and not even break a sweat, and then not even be happy with it afterwards. But he's such a legend, and it's sort of like I wanted to build a team, but I wanted them all to be my friends, So rather than be on a team with people you don't know or sponsor someone who you don't really know, you have to be someone who I know quite well to be able to get on to the team, to be able to be in with us, basically. And so we're all really tight, and we're all at the vert comps together and the big bowl comps and stuff, and we're a tight unit. And so that's a board company, man.
That's cool.
That's
cool.
us.
What's it like skating into your 40s and hopefully into your 50s? It taking a toll on your anatomy and stuff like that?
Yeah, bro, it's hard on the body. But so the way I've sort of circumnavigated that and to be able to still skate is to make the transition to vert, because when I'm skating vert and I'm doing like a big air, I can still get the same adrenaline rush as doing like a 14-stair handrail. But the difference is that 99% of the time you can bail out of it safely. And I don't have to like jar my body running down because my knees are quite screwed from all the street skating. But so being able to legitimately wear knee pads on something is pretty cool, because I can skate for a lot longer, and then I can still get a good rush off the tricks, and I just love vert. I've got addicted to it. It's like the progression of when you start chipping away at one thing, that one thing leads to another thing, and then okay, that's in the bag, and then it's like those. It is like that. Skating is like that puzzle, where you're like the ever expanding puzzle where some dudes have got those pieces up there and they just clip for them real easy, and then maybe for you it's going to take a lot more work, but then once you got it, and then it's I think that vert has really opened that up and sparked that interest in it for me again. Like whereas I was just finding street too hard on my body, but with vert hopefully I can keep going for a long time. Like you see how he's a bit of a cliche in skateboarding, but Tony Hawk, and he's over 50, and he still rips, dude. He's
still dropping parts.
Very hard stuff. And I don't think you see many ledge or really many street skaters who've had that longevity. But ramps allow you to do that.
Now. 51. 51. That number, that's a crazy number to think
because when you look at
there's other bros that are older than him as well, aren't they?
Totally. Steve Cab and stuff. Steve Cab I think is maybe 57. Still doing hand plants, backside airs, big rock and roll slides.
Amazing.
And I think that pads allow you to do that. A lot of the time they allow you to keep going. Yeah.
They're very, very nice to make pads for the brake.
Yeah. It works. Yep. Yeah. But I mean, in saying that, you don't want to be like, oh, I don't want to be a kook anyway who's like wearing, knee pads on the street or something like that.
Yeah.
But so that's why I skate vert, man.
Yeah,
It's a good buzz. I love vert. It's awesome buzz, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It took me a while to get into it and to learn it.
Yeah.
But then once I did, I was like, oh, I wish I'd started skating vert earlier. And then I could be so much more far along. But, that's always neither here nor there. You are where you are today.
Yeah.
And so,
well, what size boards were you skating in the street, and what size are you on vert?
So I was always skating like an 8 and 8.1 for a long time, around 8.1, and then in street I think I more moved to about an 8.5 towards the end of street skating, and then from once I picked up vert it was only 8.5 and above, and so now I'd skate around 9s, or 8.75 is probably my preferred size for vert, because it's like I can ride about on bowl too. I can still flip the board with it.
Yeah.
9's great though. If you get
What's it like flipping? Have you tried to flip a 9?
Yeah, I can still flip a 9. Yeah, it's all good. Because the difference is, right, is with a 9, you have a lot more room for error to be able to put your feet back on.
Okay.
Like if you're on a skinny board, you better make sure your feet are landing in exactly the right place. But with a 9, you can almost get away with committing to stuff which you might not commit to on an 8.
Yeah.
Because you've got a wider board, and so it's more stable. And especially for going fast and doing big airs and stuff, you do want a more stable ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes it easier for airs.
Okay. Yeah. Well, so you can land a bit of heel off, a bit of toe off.
Yeah, totally.
It's all good there?
Yeah.
Cool.
Although I'm pretty choosy on what I commit to now.
Yeah.
I better be making it if I'm going in, I'm all in,
Yeah.
But pads as well allows you to be like kind of fussy with what you're trying to take.
Yeah.
Whereas if you weren't wearing pads, you'd be far more likely to commit because it's much harder to get out of it. Yeah, if that makes sense.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, one day I'd love to do a mega ramp. That would be a dream, just to jump the gap.
Where's the nearest one?
Don't have to do a big one. There's one in Melbourne. Yeah.
Melbourne?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had been there before, actually. But when I went there,
you seem like a good candidate to be doing this.
When I went there, it was before Pappas had done the 900, and so he was all about doing that.
Yeah.
And then the week before I got there,
was that on that ramp?
Yeah, but so it's been rebuilt now. It's a different ramp now. The week before I went there, they moved. This is when it just had a straight gap. There was no roll over the knuckle. There was It was a straight gap with nets underneath it.
Yeah.
And the week before I got there, he moved it back and made it, I think it was like 36 feet. Because he needed to get more speed to get into the thing to do the 900 on the quarter pipe.
Yeah.
But when I went there, I was thinking, I'll probably give us a go. And when I went there and I watched Taz jump it, and then it was quite windy for the day I went there. I only had one day to go there on my trip, and then I watched him bounce off the knuckle.
Yeah.
So imagine you have the jump ramp here, then you have the gap with the nets here, then you have the flat bit here, and then the landing ramp here.
Yeah.
And I watched him go to jump it and then knuckle and hit the flat part.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
Youch.
no, I'm not going to risk breaking my back on this thing today. So I just skated the quarter pipe. But yeah, it was like, I'd definitely love to go back and try and session the jump, because it's like the ultimate jump ramp, right?
Yeah,
I used to love blast ramps. I still do love blast ramps, but it would just be so sick. I've always wanted to do that, so that would be definitely on my bucket list of skate things which I want to do. Yeah. Other than that, it's just there's so much to work on vert. I'm like, man, I could learn that trick, or I want to do that hand plant. I've always wanted to do a front side hand plant, and just stuff like that. Yeah.
Fair enough, bro. Cool. Oh, man. Okay. Alright, man. Thank you so much for sitting down and having a chat today.
All good.
Chris, I wish you all the best for the future, bro. Thank you so much.
Thanks, bro.
Okay, cheers.
Yeah.